Hi guys, welcome to the studio, and yeah, welcome to the chaos that is currently my die cutting play session. I am rejigging, that's the word, my die storage because at the moment it is just, they're everywhere. They're all over the place, and when I want them I can't find them. So I have these tubs here. And I've got quite a few of them, and they come in a bigger storage box. They just slot in like that. But I'm using the storage box for grandchild's paint stuff. So on these I have just put like Tim Holtz birds, and I am dedicating one box per die cut thing that I think I'm going to use the most of. Obviously I have the original dies, but I don't want to have to keep going and pulling these out and blah 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 when I'm filming, to be able to give you guys the correct information. So I have wrote it on the front of the box. That is just a quick reference for me because they're going to be stood upright like that in my basket. So I've done some silhouette birds, which is what this die is called, and for reference, there we go guys, it's Tim Holtz silhouette birds number 665861. So yeah, obviously Tim Holtz and Sizzix, and the silhouette birds, obviously once they're done in black, they obviously look like bird silhouettes of birds. However, I have also been going through my stash of jelly plate, jelly print, jelly plate, tear offs, kind of like the side pieces when I've done jelly printing, because I jelly print on predominantly on A3 paper because I use a big gel plate. So then I had loads of white space around the edges, and I did a thing before where I just tore around them, and then I've got all these scraps here. Where's my other, there it is, and then I've got all these scraps here as well, and these are perfect for these wildflower dies. Obviously I've done some with the birds, lost a foot there, but you know, you can always alter that. Yeah, so I've done a few of them, not a lot, but I've done a few. I'm happy to actually cut them as and when I need them, but I had some left over from the Creep on June collaboration. So I figured I'd just do a handful more and then get them in the box. So I've got a little stash. And then I've moved on to the wildflowers because, as I said, a lot of these are like strips, and these wildflowers are brilliant for that. And I will give you the information for the wildflowers, which is obviously Tim Holtz and Sizzix Wildflowers number 1. There's a few different sets of the wildflower dies and stamps, and the die set I've got is number 1, and the number is 661190. Again, it's there. There's 7 dies in total. It's a little bit harder to read through the packaging. So, and as I said, I'm not going to be using the packaging. I'm just going to be using the dies, the die cuts. I'm already going to cut them out, and I'm going to have a selection of them. Here I have a few of the negatives, but I'm keeping them. They will go in a separate bag or tub or whatever. Because they're fun to use in projects as well. So I've done a few of these particular ones, love those. I've done a handful of these, 5 actually, but a handful of those ones, and now I am doing these ones that look a bit like dandelion wishes, like dandelion fluff. I will do just plain, I'll probably do some black ones, but I'll also do some plain ones, and then it's handy then to be able to just spritz them and, you know, colour them however you wish. But as I've got these jelly print offcuts, I figured, well, why not start there to build the stash? That way they're already coloured. So, and I've just been rolling them through twice. They don't really need to go through twice. But yeah, just been rolling them through twice, and this has been my job for the last few hours. I've been on the phone to my daughter and granddaughter in the meantime on FaceTime. But I just figured I'd just flick the camera on and bring you along for 5-10 minutes just to do a video, and you know, like a video filler. But yeah, oh, I love them. I love these flower dies, I really do. And I love how they come out on the jelly printed papers, because I mean that's quite thick paint on there, thick metallic paint on there, and it just shines and shimmers beautifully. And then some of them are really thin papers, and some of them are on Amazon packaging paper. Some of them are also double-sided, so you know, you get quite a good variety out of them. These bigger ones I've been using the bigger dies on, for obvious reasons. You get more pattern out of them, and on some of the bigger ones I've been using 2 dies where there's room. Sometimes you can piece them so that you can get 2 onto 1 sheet of paper, which is awesome because there's less wastage. So let's just, and then I've been taping them down with a bit of washi tape just to secure them so they don't move, which they do sometimes. Secure them so they don't move too much, like so. And then yeah, we're just cutting away. The best thing is these scraps don't need cutting down either. They're all small enough to go in this little die cutter that I have. I got this one from Aldi a number of years ago. I did do a craft haul video on that. I do have the Sizzix Big Shot. It's just that this is always over there to the left of me on the desk. Well, it's actually on the pegboard in front of me on the left of the desk. So yeah, it's always handy to just pull out for these smaller little dies than have the big shot taking up space on the desk. Ooh. Here we go. Did it cut it? Yep, it cut it. Alright, I've got to be careful taking them out because obviously, like I said, some of the papers are a bit flimsy, so, but yeah. Yeah, the lighting's a bit rubbish, guys, but so that's that one. And then this is what gets me the most. It's the poking all the bits out. It is so frustrating. I have got a bin next to me, but then I've also got all these tiny little bits all over the floor because they miss the bin or they bounce off, and but this is what takes the longest, and it just annoys me. I do have one of them little roller things. There we go, beautiful. Yeah, I do have, it's in a tub over there. I do have one of them rollers where you just put it on like a sponge thing and roll it, and it gets all the bits out of it for you in one go. But again, it just takes up space on the desk. So, and yeah, so as I said, this is going to be my new way of storing my dies, and I'm going to keep them close to hand because I want to start using dies and stamps more often in my makes. I have loads and I just don't use them. I forget about them. So yeah, not good. Right, I think I've got enough of that one to get me started. So let's move on to the next small one because I have a fair few bits of small scrappy bits. Nope, that's too small. Okay, so pop that to one side. Do this greeny coloured one. Greeny, browny, whatever coloured one. And yeah, there we are, guys. So it's just kind of placement, you know, so you don't waste too much of the scrap that you might be able to use on another piece. And yeah, this is going to be my new storage. Once I've got it all sorted, I will do a video to show you. Now, I've got tons and tons of dies, obviously. Well, I don't know about obviously, but I have tons of dies, as most people do. Don't use them all, as I should. And I'm not going to be doing every single die, like a box for every single die, because I'm limited on the boxes that I have. So, like I said, I'm going to just kind of go through the dies that I do have and try and pick out the ones that I think I will use the most of. So that will be a lot of florals, hence the wildflowers die. Obviously birds as well, yeah. I think there's flower missing off that. Yeah, there is. Oh, no, there isn't. Oh, right, no, it's that little piece there that hasn't joined. Okay, never mind. Yeah, so I do have tag dies and things like that, but I don't think I'll be doing too many of those to put in a box, because, you know, tags are easy to make without a die. Yeah, so I will just have to have a root through and see. I have the Tim Holtz pocket die, and I absolutely know that somewhere I have that already cut out, but I cannot find the tub that it's in. The tub. They used to be in these, so all I can think of is that, you know, at some point in time I've moved them. Not moved them, but kind of homed them, but I don't know where to. I wonder if it's in my photo album, actually. Let's have a look. Because I do store things in photo albums. It's not in that one. It wouldn't surprise me if I've done that and then forgot what I've done with them. Not in that one. Let's have a look if it's in this one. I'll bring it over to show you what I mean. This was a... Oh, let's have a look at this one first. Like I said, this is a photo album. Oops, wrong way. Yeah, photo album. So they're not in here, but, you know, this is what I do. I store pieces of already made up ephemera in them. And then invariably forget about... invariably forget about them. I've put them in here. Right, so that's why I can't find them. Okay, so I've got the doily one by Tim Holtz, which is this one. So no, that's not a Tim Holtz. That is a Laurie Whitlock die from Sizzix, and it is number... Oh, it's called Hello Doily, and it's number 661096. I thought that was a Tim Holtz one. Okay. But the pocket is a Tim Holtz one, and I've got two of those, the same. Different coloured packaging, different, you know, coloured images on the front, but it is the same die. I can't remember which one I got first, but then another one come on sale, so I got that as well. Obviously, because I love this. That one is Stitched Slots, it's called, and it's number 662697 is that one. And I really like that one. I've used that one a fair few times. Used it out with some wallpapers there, so that's good. I've already got myself kind of on the go with that, so they can come out of storage in there, come out of there and go in another tub, because that's one that I do actually want to use. I want to start using this more often in... Oh, that's got threading it, put that over there. Yeah, I do want to start using this die more often in projects because it is actually really cool. And, you know, makes a really good pocket. Some of them I've stamped on there. Plain ones, some more out of wallpaper. Wallpaper is so much fun to die cut with. Yeah, so that one can go in that box there. So, and then I've got, oh, that's just embossed stuff. Is that, actually that's a Tim Holtz die as well. It's just basically rectangles with jaggedy edges. And these were cut out of wallpaper, which is cool. But I don't think I'll use that one as much as some of the others. Although it does look really nice. Maybe we will put that one in a box as well, and we'll see. We'll put it in the box for now anyway, and then we've got the option. If not, I can put it back in here. Those aren't dies. Those have come off a punch that I have. That's the tab punch, and again, punches. Them are dies, tag dies, and then I've embossed them. Them I've just cut up. Yeah, some more little tag dies there. And then, yeah, some more dies there. I have like a banner, a ribbon banner die. Oops. But I don't really use it like I should. I mean, I should do, I suppose, but I don't really use it like I should. So, or as much as I should. That were just some leftovers that I just cut up. And then I've got butterflies in there, but they're punches. They're not die cuts, they're punches. Oh, wildflowers. No, they're not. But florals. Ah, wildflowers. There they are. So I do have some more wildflowers. I knew I had some somewhere. I just knew it. Alright, so these ones are on a creamy coloured cardstock and then a plain white cardstock. That's not a Tim Holtz one. That definitely is, and so is that. So they can go in there. These ones are not Tim Holtz. These ones will be, is it Glowbland? Let me see. I have it here. Yeah, Glowbland. Yeah, so that will be those ones. So they will go in a different floral one. Yeah. And again, not Tim Holtz. Oh, actually, there is a Tim Holtz in there. Oh, yeah. Alright, that's a Tim Holtz one. So is that one. So is that one. What else have we got? We've got this one. And that one. Oh, beautiful. See, they look gorgeous in made out of wallpapers. And that one's a Timmy one as well. And then this one. Oh, cool. So I have wallpaper ones as well. Beautiful. And then these make me laugh because they look like they've got smiley faces on them, but these are the Glowbland ones, which I'll use at a different time. But yeah, so, well chuffed I found them because I've been looking for them for about a week now. I didn't even think of looking in it. Oh, that was just a project I did with Tracy Fox Creative. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think of looking in there. Right, now I know I will label it. Right, so now I've got plenty of stash there, so I can actually give up cutting those out now, because, trust me, taking those little bits and pieces out of them has been driving me crackers. So yeah, and although, like I said, using these scrap pieces for these is just great. It's the perfect thing for them. But I have a really good stash in there now, so let's take the dies out of the tub. the metal side of the dies out of the tub. Oh, look at that now. Got quite a lot of variety going on there. That's really cool. Look at all the flowers, the pretty flowers. Pretty, pretty. Yeah. And then this is the problem with the florals, you know. They've got thin stems on them, so they can be quite annoying at times and get stuck on each other, but there we go. So let's fasten that tub up, and then that one will just stand up in my basket like that. Alright guys, so just a bit of food for thought for you there with what to do with your die cut, how to rejig your die cut storage. And then I've got this plastic thing here that I'm going to put these back into. Just pop those into there, like so, and then that will also sit in here with the flowers, I think. So I'm not 100% decided yet whether or not I will do that and store the dies with the die cuts, because I do have a system already. Oh, it's coming off already. I do have a system already for my dies storage that works fairly well, but that's an option. You know, I have loads and loads of these cellophane packets, so yeah, and I've wrote the information on there so that you know what they are, or well, so that I know what they are when I'm using them, so I can let you know. But depending on whether I do it this way or stick to my original storage, they would just be in the original packaging anyway, like the birds. So I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. Actually, no, I'm going to put them back in the packaging for now. But I will leave them in that bag because then it's easier to get them in and out and what have you. So, there we go. Right, I am going to love you and leave you guys. So, take care, stay safe, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye!